हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
श्रीनिवास प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
दंडवत प्रणाम श्वेता माता जी। हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम सविना माता जी। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
दंडवत प्रणाम रानी राधा भावनी माता जी। हरे कृष्ण। We'll begin now. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यैश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपास्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, the last chapter of first canto. In the last chapter we saw Maharaj Parikshit was cursed by this immature son of a qualified Brahmana whose name was Shringi, who could not understand the exalted position of Maharaj Parikshit, and for a very small mistake, he gave him the punishment of death. Then when Shringi went back and told his father, Sammik Rishi, the father became very sad to hear what his son has done. The father prayed to Lord Narayan to please protect his son from this great mistake, great sin he has done of cursing such a great king. And while this was happening, Maharaj Parikshit, while this conversation was happening between Shringi and Sammik Rishi, Maharaj Parikshit was on his horse and he was going back to his kingdom. He was accompanied by his whole army. And as he was going, Maharaj Parikshit was feeling very morose. Maharaj Parikshit was lamenting. Maharaj Parikshit was thinking, how could I do such a sinful act to such a pure and qualified Brahmana? And he was lamenting. And Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that lamentation is natural for a good soul. Prabhupada also says that sometime it may happen that we may commit some mistake because of the influence of illusory energy or the influence of Kali or the influence, for whatever reason, this is possible. But the fire of lamentation can burn away the sin. So a devotee, when he does something wrong, he must, Maharaj Parikshit has shown by his example how a devotee should feel after committing a mistake unknowingly. And Maharaj Parikshit was thinking, let my kingdom become burned. Let the reaction to this offense burn my kingdom and take away all my strength and all my wealth. Let everything be taken away from me. Now, so that I will not have a tendency to commit that sin again. And so that I won't have to suffer the reaction of this offense in the future. So when a devotee performs any sinful act, he should follow the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit. He should lament, how could I have done like that? What a sinful soul I am. Let me be severely punished so that I may give up the tendency to perform this sin again. And let me get a reaction. So now, um, so that it does not come in future. Let me neutralize the reaction now. His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj. Maharaj also says, for a sincere devotee, Krishna gives the reaction then and there. But if a devotee is not sincere and he is committing the say offense again and again, then Krishna may not give the reaction, and Krishna may wait for a long time. And but everything, sometimes we say that devotee is doing so much, he is mistreating, he is doing this, but no reaction is coming to him. So Maharaj says every wrong thing anybody does will come back to them. But if somebody is sincere, then Krishna gives the reaction then and there. So Maharaj Parikshit, while going, he was depressed. He was in his horse. He is the king of the whole planet. There is a whole entourage behind him, but he was very morose, and this is what he was contemplating. And when he reached home, um, he sat down. His head was down. Um, he was not talking to anybody. He really desired the reaction. And then there came a messenger, Samik Rishi. He thought the king must be informed as soon as possible so that the king can take the corrective measures, whatever needs to be done. He can plan his last 7 days of his life accordingly. So Samik Rishi appointed one of his servant. His name was Gauramukha. And he sent Gauramukha with a letter that, my dear king, you are highly qualified, but because of my son's immaturity, I deeply regret to inform you that you are cursed to die in 7 days by a flying snake bird, Takshak. And when Maharaj Parikshit, when he saw this letter came to him, Maharaj Parikshit felt blessed. And this is very instructive lesson also, how a devotee, upon going through the suffering, should feel blessed. Okay, some reaction has come. Sometimes we understand what the suffering, why I am going through this suffering, and we see that Krishna's mercy, because it is giving me realization of what is the effect of sin or offense. And that's one reason, forget that realization, a devotee feels blessed by Lord Krishna. Sometimes we may not understand why this particular suffering is coming to me. A devotee should still feel blessed that something that Krishna feels this is appropriate. And maybe Krishna is preparing my consciousness. Something from the past is coming back to me. So in this way, in whatever situation where suffering comes, a devotee should feel blessed. Maharaj Parikshit, he felt blessed, and Maharaj Parikshit thought, this will make me indifferent to worldly things. Maharaj Parikshit thought, I'm very attached to everything. He's the king of the planet. He has so many responsibilities. And he was engaged in so many material activities. Maharaj Parikshit felt, this is Krishna's mercy, that Krishna is withdrawing me from this whole estate so that I can focus on myself. There, Prabhupada also says that a devotee should be non-envious. It says that Maharaj Parikshit, a common man, may have gone to Samik Rishi and Shringi, may have begged forgiveness. I mean, Parikshit Maharaj was feeling that he has committed a mistake. He may have gone, and the reaction either may have been cancelled or may have been minimized. Or there must, like usually we see when somebody offend a sage and they beg forgiveness, the sage give them a blessing also after that. Like we see the example of Manigriva Nalakuvera. They offended, they got cursed, but then they asked for blessing, and the blessing was you become trees in the courtyard of Maharaj Nanda. son of Maharaj Nanda. Um, so they get some blessing also, or it can be counteracted as well. Or Maharaj Parikshit could have become angry and he could have counter cursed also, because he was also a Raja Rishi, a very qualified saint in the form of a king, to Shringi. But Maharaj Parikshit was non-envious, and he felt blessed upon being cursed to die in 7 days. Then Maharaj Parikshit, he um, um, declared that from right now, Janmejaya will be, who was the son of Maharaj Parikshit, Janmejaya will be king of the planet. And just like following the footsteps of his own forefathers, great forefathers, Maharaj, how he was there and he noticed how Maharaj Yudhishthir, how his grandfather Arjun, how Bhim, how Kunti, how Draupadi, although being the king, retired from their kingdom, walked out like devs without speaking anything, exhibiting complete renunciation, keeping the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda in their heart, and they left for self-realization. Because if somebody sets an example in our life, it is very easy to follow them. Because he saw how his great grandfather, being in the same position as he is now, how they acted at that point of time. It is a great inspiration for the followers to act in a similar way. And that's why Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, one must set a good example. We see how Srila Prabhupada and how recently Kadamakanana Maharaj, when they left the body, when he left the body, when Maharaj left the body, how they set an example for us. They taught us how to live and how to die. So Maharaj Parikshit, having those impressions of his grandfather, it's we are so fortunate that we have such beautiful examples. Right now, we may be afraid of following those examples. Maybe Maharaj Parikshit, when he was very young, when Maharaj Yudhishthira was leaving, he may have thought, "Oh, I don't know how this is difficult," or how they renounced. There may be various thoughts in Maharaj Parikshit. Likewise, when we see a very high example in front of us, we may be scared to follow. But then at some point of time, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was leaving, Maharaj Parikshit was very young, just being made the king. But now the time has come for Maharaj Parikshit to follow the example set by his great grandfathers. Likewise, right now, we may be scared of the example, but the day will come when we may have to follow the example set by Srila Prabhupada and Kadamakanana Maharaj. But they exhibited such high devotion, such control over their mind and senses, because both Srila Prabhupada and Kadamakanana Maharaj, 1-2 months before they left the body, they started eating anything. They were just drinking a little bit of water every day, and they were preparing themselves for death. And that seems scary today to us, with the example they set. But at some point of time, we may have to follow those examples of leaving our body. Just like the time has come for Maharaj Parikshit from being a youth to now to leave the body. But what we want to do is, before that time comes, we want to prepare ourselves so that we can follow the example set by great souls. Mhm. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says life is a preparation for death. We are preparing. We want to become absorbed in Krishna. We want to become Goswamis. Goswamis does not mean a color or a name. Goswami means the master of our senses. So when the time comes, we may withdraw our senses and then completely focus on Krishna. Till we do that, we may not be going back home back to God. So that's why Prabhupada says life is a preparation. Prabhupada taught us how to live, and Prabhupada taught us how to die. And here Maharaj Parikshit, he was fully determined. He was feeling blessed. He has no negative emotions. He took care of the responsibility. He was not overly attached. He left and he went on the bank of Ganges. There was nobody there. And he sat down and while walking, he decided, I will fast until death. This is exactly what Srila Prabhupada did, exactly what Kadamakandana Maharaj did. Fast until death. And Parikshit Maharaj sat down and Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, let me worship Ganga. Parikshit Maharaj doesn't know what to do. I have 7 days. Parikshit Maharaj accepted the vows of a sage. Just like, the saints, they wear simple robes. They perform sadhana in a holy place. Their life is dedicated to remembrance of the Lord. So he took the vow of fast until death and the vow of being a saint, giving up his position of the king of the whole world. And he was thinking, Ganga, wherever Mother Ganges goes, she purifies everything. She has purified the 3 worlds: higher planet, lower planet, middle planet, earthly planet. She purifies Lord Shiva, she purifies demigods. Whoever comes in contact with Mother Ganga becomes purified. Maharaj Parikshit, although getting feeling that it's a reaction, but actually Srila Prabhupada says it was not a reaction. It was the will of the Lord. Lord Krishna wanted to use Maharaj Parikshit to bring Shrimad Bhagavatam, which will be a saving grace after the Lord's departure. And Parikshit Maharaj, because he was such a devotee of the Lord, he will be glorified for all time to come as a one who received and attained perfection through hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam. But Parikshit Maharaj now, anything comes, the best religious principle is whatever helps us to take a humble position. That is the best religious principle, whatever makes us feel humble. So Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, although being cursed to die in 7 days, Maharaj Parikshit still felt himself contaminated because of his action to a pure Brahmana. And Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, Ganges purifies everybody, including Lord Shiva, demigods, and the 3 words. Let me take shelter of Mother Ganges. Means, in a way, Parikshit Maharaj was still feeling that guilt and lamentation. It is said that the less advanced we are, the less is a lamentation. The more advanced we are, the more is a lamentation for a very small thing. Even if we have no mistake, still the lamentation is very high. It is said a quality of a pure devotee is they see a small mistake in themselves, they magnify and they think themselves to be the worst of all the sinners, the most sinful person. And we see those who are impure at heart, they may perform very sinful act and they may justify that I was right. This needs to be done. That was the right action. So here we see Maharaj Yudhishthir. We see he was in such deep lamentation that even Krishna could not pacify him. I am the cause of this Mahabharata. See, because of my sinful desires, material desires, what is the result? What have I done? He performed Ashwamedha Yagyas. Still he was feeling, I am the cause. Then after receiving instruction from Bhishma Dev, he was a little bit pacified. And here we see Maharaj Parikshit is still maintaining that conception that I need to be purified for what I have done. Such a high amount of guilt and lamentation was there. And then that's why he took shelter of Mother Ganges. Sitting in a robe of a saint, fasting till death with a vow, taking shelter of Mother Ganga and Tulsi, holding the lotus feet of Mukunda in his heart. Maharaj Parikshit is sitting there And the reason in this verse, the name of Krishna referred to as Mukunda, because the word Mukunda means one who gives liberation. And Maharaj Parikshit wanted that liberation from his offense, from his assumed offense that he was thinking was an offense. And it was 7 days. Maharaj Parikshit, that's why he referred to him as lotus feet of Mukunda. The prayer of Avanti Brahmana, when he was going through deep trouble in Shrimad Bhagavatam, he prays that if anybody, that I now take the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda within the region of my heart. And just by taking shelter of his lotus feet, I can cross over the cycle of birth and death and attain liberation. So as Maharaj Parikshit was sitting in these circumstances, one by one, many sages started to come. Who all came? There was Narada Muni came. Narada Muni Guru, Vyasadev, he came. Vyasadev father, Parasar Muni came. Vashishta Muni, the guru of Lord Ramchandra. Vishwamitra Muni, also an advisor of Lord Ramchandra. Vashishta Muni came. Vishwamitra Muni came. Angira Rishi came. Dhaumya Rishi. And there are all these great sages that we can name. Thousands of sages one by one started assembled there. They are called Brahma Rishi, Deva Rishi, and Raja Rishis. They all came. Deva Rishi are the sages among the demigods. Brahma Rishi is the highest saints, highest caliber of sages, like Vishwamitra, Vashishta. Vashishta was originally, then Vishwamitra also attained Brahma Rishi. Raja Rishi, who are kings and who are great saintly people, devotees of the Lord. So Brahma Rishi, Deva Rishi, Raja Rishi, and the prominent names are mentioned. And they all came from Satyalok, Tapalok, Mahalok, from higher planets, all the sages. Over 50,000. I don't remember exact number, and they all came and assembled. Maharaj Parikshit, he stood up. He was sitting on a seat, still lamenting. And Maharaj Parikshit, when he saw all the sages assembled, Maharaj Parikshit stood up. He paid his obeisances to them, bowed down his head, received them. Then Maharaj Parikshit again said, I'm feeling very fortunate. This is the last 7 days. There was nobody with Maharaj Parikshit, and suddenly all the sages were sent. Maharaj Parikshit felt very fortunate. He said, usually the sages, they don't even look at the royalty order. Royalty order means the kingly class. We saw the example said by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He didn't even want to even meet once Maharaj Pratap Rudra, the kingly class. Maharaj Pratap Rudra says association with a woman and association with the king are on the same platform. Opposite sex of the king, they will contaminate the mind of an aspiring sage. So one should avoid their association. And Maharaj Parikshit, he said, I feel very fortunate that sages usually they consider the royalty class as refuge and always maintain distance from them. But you all have kindly come here in this time. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, these sages are very qualified, and these sages knew that now Shrimad Bhagavatam will be spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. And they wanted to be the part of that great history. They wanted to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights continuously. They knew that, most of them. Maharaj Parikshit doesn't know what is going to happen. Maharaj Parikshit later on, when Sukadeva Goswami arrives, Maharaj Parikshit says that as the mercy of the Lord. But the sages knew. So he felt, I felt greatly fortunate. Then he told them of his decision. The sages knew Maharaj Parikshit is cursed to die in 7 days. The news was everywhere. The sages knew. The sages doesn't need to know from somebody. The sages know, because they know past, present, future. So they came, and Maharaj Parikshit informed them of their decision that I have decided to live a life of a saint for last 7 days and to fast until death. Then Maharaj Parikshit said, all of you are like Vedas personified. And you all are, it is very kind of you that you all have come here to be with me in this hour of need. And then the sages were very impressed by the vow of Maharaj Parikshit. The sages said, it is not astonishing for a descent of Pandus. You are following the perfectly your ancestors. And you are also in the lineage of Lord Krishna. And that makes it further not surprising for your vow holding. And the Maharaj Pariksit said, I surrender my life to all of you, and I surrender my life to Mother Ganga, and I hold the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda in the region of my heart. Let Takshak snake bird come at once and burn me to that, I don't care. As long as I hear all of you glorify Lord Vishnu, no matter what happens, my only request to all of you is please don't stop glorifying the glorious qualities of Lord Narayan. The sages said it is not at all surprising. Then the sages took a vow. The sages said, we give our words that we will not leave this place until we see you attain the highest planet, which is free from lamentation, which is free from all miseries. Prabhupada says that highest planet naturally refers to the kingdom of God. So the sages already predicted it. So the sages, Sutta Goswami says the sages' words were truthful, appropriate. They were truthful because the sages already knew that Maharaj Parikshit is going back home, back to Godhead. So they said, we will stay here, we will not leave until we see you attain the highest planet. And then Maharaj Parikshit, he put forward a question to all the sages. Maharaj Parikshit said, my dear sages, please do one favor to me. Please describe to me how can everyone in this world attain perfection? And how can a man who is about to die attain perfection? So this is the question asked by Maharaj Parikshit to the sages. And Maharaj Parikshit says, please discuss among yourself and tell me conclusively what is the duty of a man, of what is the duty of everyone, and what is the duty of man who is about to die. And it is said that among the sages, some were pure devotees, like Narad Muni was a pure devotee, Vyasadeva was a pure devotee, Parasar Muni was a pure devotee, Vashishta, Vishwamutra, they were also devotees of the Lord. I mean, naturally, Guru of Lord Ramchandra. But some were just yogis, and some were Brahmavadis. Their goal is to attain Brahman. So different people have different conception. There were over 50,000 sages. So when they all were discussing, of course, some were just standing there quiet, like Narada, Vyasadeva. They are Trikalagya, no past, present, future. So they know that Sukadeva Goswami will come and answer all the questions. So they were not into discussion. But all these yogis who were not of that high class, they were discussing among themselves. They were discussing among that they were discussing among themselves. Um, what is the duty of everyone? And they all had their own conceptions. And when they could not come to a conclusion, then all the sages, they were looking towards the pathway. And from the pathway, there entered a man wandering, almost naked, few scattered clothes here and there. His name was Sukadev Goswami. He was surrounded by women and children. Here is Maharaj Parikshit sitting, here is thousands of sages. They're not able to conclude what is the duty of a man and what is the duty of a man who is about to die. And they all have different opinions. And they were hoping some highly qualified sage will come and answer. And as they were looking and wandering and looking here and there, they saw there is a great personality who has a complexion like Krishna. He's dark complexioned, very beautiful, 16 years old, very soft body, very soft hands, thighs, legs, very broad chest, fat in his collarbones, broad chest, very thin and deep navel, curly hairs covering part of his face, broad and large eyes, having a very beautiful smile on his face, completely self-satisfied, wandering, have very long hands that goes below the knees, just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there is the description of his entire physical appearance. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that great souls can be seen just by their bodily, just by seeing the body, one can understand how great the personality he is. The sages, when like the astrologers, when they see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they understood this is a Mahapurusha, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu physical complexion also had like this curly hairs, all this. Not that anybody who has curly hairs is greatly advanced soul, but it's not one. It's the whole, um, all the bodily symptoms together. All the sages, when they saw Sukadev Goswami, they all understood just by seeing him, by his bodily feature. They all understood he is a Mahapurusha. He is a great personality. He is a greatest personality among all of us. So they all stood in reverence. Like, 50,000 sages, 60,000 sages are sitting, Maharaj Parikshit, and they all stood. And he was surrounded by a woman and children. Children making fun of him. Women are following the children. And Prabhupada says women were also attracted by the charming smile of Sukadev Goswami. Because Sukadev Goswami is like color, dark, dark complexion, beautiful, handsome. So they were attracted by his smile. They all are referred, these women and children are referred to as ignorant, because they are only seeing the physical. They don't know the the quality of, or who Sukadev Goswami, or the greatness Sukadev Goswami. They're foolish. They are considered as foolish. And when all 50,000, 60,000 sages, Maharaj Parikshit stood up and they paid obeisance to Sukadev Goswami, the women and children, they ran away. And when he was alone, they were following him. Then they were like, oh, this very awkward, such great personalities. He is 16 years old. Vishwamitra Muni is millions of years old. This happened 5,000 years ago when Shrimad Bhagavatam was spoken. Lord Ramchandra came in Treta Yuga. The Dwapar Yuga itself is 864,000 years, just little less than a million years. And Lord Ramchandra came somewhere in the middle. And Treta Yuga is over a million year old itself. So these sages' lives, and they never come to this earthly planet, and they are all visible. Vyasadev, Narad Muni, son of Brahma, that time. And seeing all of them, this woman and children, they ran away, and they all such great personalities are offering respect to this Mahapurush Shukadev Goswami. They could understand, although he's 16 years old, his realization is way, way more advanced than all of us together. That is the greatness. Sukadev Goswami is a personal parrot, it is described, Srimati Radharani, who has witnessed all the pastimes of the Lord. So they all offered his respect by his great position of Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami was smiling, looking at everybody. And then Sukadev Goswami went, and then he sat on a raised seat, like a stone or whatever it was. And Sukadev Goswami sat down, and then all the 50, 60,000 sages, along with Maharaj Parikshit, they sat at the feet of Sukadev Goswami, including Sukadev Goswami's own father, who was Vyasadev. They all sat at his feet. Maharaj Parikshit felt blessed. Maharaj Pariksit said it is only by the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna that he has um, that being inspired by Lord Shri Krishna, that you wandered. Now it's not like Ganges. How many places Ganges flow? Ganges like everywhere, like thousands of miles Ganges flows. And on this one bank of Ganga, where there are all the sages, Maharaj Pariksit assembled, and Sukadev Goswami is wandering everywhere, and then he happened to enter into that assembly, and he didn't care about his surrounding. He was self-satisfied. He would not wait or stay anywhere, and he would not speak much, and he just walking. Everybody thought he is foolish, and he happened to arrive right to the sages and Maharaj Pariksit. Maharaj Pariksit said, "It is only by the mercy of Sri Krishna that although wandering, you have come to us." Then Maharaj Pariksit said, "This is Lord Krishna's mercy onto the Pandavas." Maharaj Pariksit did not feel that it is his qualification that Krishna has sent you. See, I'm so sincere, that's why Krishna has sent you. But he said it is because of the lineage of Pandavas. Because Pandavas' lineage is so dear to Lord Krishna that unworthy loyalty, unworthy royalty, unworthy king, Maharaj Pariksit is condemning himself because by default the king are engaged in some condemned activities. So unworthy royalty, it is only because of the lineage of the Pandavas and Krishna's mercy on Pandavas that I have become the recipient. It is their greatness, not my greatness. Then Maharaj Parikshit told Sukadev Goswami. He said, simply by remembering you, one's house becomes purified and we become purified. Simply by remembering you. What to speak about seeing you, what to speak about washing your lotus feet, what to speak about physically offering obeisances to you, what to speak about offering you a seat. So this is all. This indicates that Maharaj Parikshit very nicely received Sukadev Goswami. He must have done all these things. That's why he said, simply by remembering you, one's householder becomes purified. What to speak about doing all these things. So he got that opportunity to serve. Then Maharaj Pariksit says, simply by your presence, this whole place has become a tirtha. We say Vidura, when Vidura came in, Maharaj Yudhishthira told Vidura, um, mm, mm, Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani means wherever you go, that place becomes Tirtha. And they all felt, when Sukadev Goswami entered, they all felt a great surge of divinity. And the whole place, like we go to a holy place, the power of a holy place, they all felt such an environment, such charged with devotion just by entering Sukadev Goswami. So they said, this is your mercy that your mere presence had made us enter into a tirtha. You have made this whole place. And it is your causeless mercy that you have come to unqualified royalty who are engaged in abominable or condemned activities for some time. Maharaj, it is described, Sukadev Goswami was very intelligent, had a smile, and he is ready to answer any question. Sukadev Goswami knows everything. Sukadev Goswami knows not only what is happening to this Maharaj Parikshit or what is the position of the sages, he also knows the structure of the universe, the length and breadth. He knows everything he knows. Just see, to repeat Shrimad Bhagavatam is itself so difficult because so many details are there, and we are discussing like few verses of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Shrimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 and they are coming out from the mouth of Sukadev Goswami with all the details he's speaking spontaneously. Sukadev Goswami knows everything, self-realized, and he's sitting and smiling and he's ready to take any questions. And then Maharaj Pariksit sitting at the feet of Sukadev Goswami, Maharaj Pariksit says, Your Holiness, um, please tell us what is the duty of every living entity. and especially the duty of a man who is about to die. What should a man who is about to die, what should he hear? What should he chant? What should he remember? Whom should he worship? What he should do? What he should not do? Please tell us everything. The conclusion of all the scriptures. And sitting at the feet of all the sages, pin drop silence. Maharaj Parikshit, 60,000 sages sitting at the feet of Sukadev Goswami. So far, Sukadev Goswami has not spoken a word. He's just sitting and smiling. Then, 16 years old, naked, and then seeing everybody, then Sukadev Goswami start to speak. And that ends the first canto. The second canto is the beginning, the first chapter of second canto is what Sukadev Goswami replied to that. Maharaj Parikshit felt just couple of point more. Maharaj Parikshit, when he was surrounded by all the sages, Maharaj Parikshit said if I have to take birth again, I want to take birth in an association of devotees, like all of you. I want to take birth with deep attachment to Lord Krishna. If I have to take birth again, let me have deep attachment to Lord Krishna. Let me be in association of saintly devotees. And let me be friendly to all living entities. Prabhupada says in the purport, one who loves Krishna loves all living entities. And that's why a natural quality of a devotee is that he is friendly to all living entities. So Maharaj Parikshit said there, if I have to take birth again, Maharaj Parikshit felt so relieved when he was sitting with all the sages that he does not want to go back and become the king. He want, if I have to take birth again, I want to be in this situation throughout my life, surrounded by all the sages with deep attachment to Lord Krishna and friendly to all living entities. That's what I want my next birth to be. And then he also said the sages that this is such a great mercy of Lord Krishna, such a great mercy of Lord Krishna, that I have, that Krishna has taken away from my heart the over attachment to family ties. Maharaj Pariksit said, Krishna knew I was very much attached to my family. And that's why Krishna orchestrated it in such a way that I'm sitting here surrounded with all the sages and free from the attachment and holding the lotus feet of Mukunda on the bank of Ganga, hearing the glories of Lord. This is great mercy of the Lord. So again and again, this shows that how a devotee sees even the worst circumstances, which is death facing them face to face. They see the mercy of devotees, they see the mercy of Krishna. It is also said that when Sukadev Goswami entered among 60,000 sages, Sukadev Goswami appeared like a moon amongst the stars. You know, in the sky, there is one moon and so many stars. Everybody looks at the moon because so prominent. So Sukadev Goswami, although 16 years old, was so prominent. All the sages were look like faded, like the moon amongst the stars. That was the power of the effulgence of Sukadev Goswami. It also shows that one's realizations is not based on one's age. He's 16 years old and some of the sages are million years old, but his attachment is very, very deep. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the only qualification is how much we are attached to Krishna. That is the only qualification. Okay. So maybe there is one small verse. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
अन्यथा ते व्यक्तागते दर्शनं न कथं नृणां नितरां म्रियमाणानां संसिद्धस्यावनीयशः. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it? Um, this is the place up that we discussed. He's glorifying Sukadev Goswami. After the end, Sukadev Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit is telling that it is only by the mercy of Lord Krishna that you have arrived here. And it is because of the lineage that I come from the Pandus, because they were glorious. It is that section. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Though you are moving incognito to the common man, nobody knows you. You are self-satisfied. You don't need anything. How is it that you have arrived here, where I am there and all the sages are there? It is not possible without being inspired by Lord Krishna. How is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Nobody called for him. You have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man, and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death, and are not visible to us on the verge of death. Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great says Sukadev Goswami was certainly inspired by Lord Krishna to appear voluntarily before Maharaj Parikshit, the great devotee of the Lord, just to give him the teachings of Shrimad Bhagavatam. One can achieve the nucleus of the devotional service of the Lord by the mercy of spiritual master and the personality of Godhead. One can attain perfection by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The spiritual master is the manifested representative of the Lord to help one achieve ultimate success. Guru is the representative of Krishna, and Krishna sends Guru to help one attain ultimate success. And likewise, Krishna sent Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami was inspired by the Lord. Krishna sent Sukadev Goswami to help Maharaj Parikshit attain perfection, without which Maharaj Parikshit was clueless what to do. But then he sent Sukadev Goswami, and by the mercy of Sukadev Goswami, by hearing from Sukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection. He is a representative of Krishna. Likewise, our spiritual masters, our Guru. The spiritual master is a manifested representative of the Lord to help one achieve ultimate success. One who is not authorized by the Lord cannot become a spiritual master. Srila Sukadev Goswami is an authorized spiritual master, and thus he was inspired by the Lord to appear before Maharaj Parikshit and instruct him in the teachings of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Why he spoke Shrimad Bhagavatam? It is the Lord's mercy. The Lord put Parikshit Maharaj in a situation that Shrimad Bhagavatam can be spoken, and this also requires faith in the Lord's plan. When this happened, he was feeling blessed. He may have went counter cursed or cancelled the curse if Maharaj Parikshit would have countered the curse, so he doesn't have to die in 7 days. He could have continued living as a royal king, and he would not have get a chance to associate with 60,000 sages and hear Shrimad Bhagavatam from Sukadev Goswami. Lord had a plan. And when we are in the plan of the Lord, we don't see what's the long-term plan. Sometime when we are in a plan, there may be a lot of inconvenience. There may be disturbance in our present schedules, in our present life. And we may try to hold on to what we are attached. We may be reluctant to change the life situation. But then there is a principle of surrender. And when there's a principle of surrender, then we understand. Then, because he surrendered, he could get the benefit of meeting his spiritual master, Sukadev Goswami, attaining perfection, going back home, back to God. A lot intervened. It is said, there's a quote, it is said that Krishna sends his mercy by creating like situations for us that will lead us towards him, but we end up in changing the situation. We change the situation because we are attached, and that's why we don't want any change. And sometimes the change are very harsh. For example, in case of Sukadev Goswami, it was a harsh change, giving up the family, The mind may get disturbed to die in 7 days. There is a deep lamentation. So the beginning was very horrorsome, very sad. But the end, because he had surrendered and he had faith in Krishna's plan, now he's sitting with Sukadev Goswami ready to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. So that's why surrender is there. Um, and instruct him in the teachings of Shrimad Bhagavatam. One can achieve the ultimate success of going back to Godhead if he is favored by the Lord sending his true representative. What is Krishna's real mercy? How can one attain ultimate success? If Krishna sends his true representative, that is the fortune. That was the fortune of Maharaj Parikshit. Krishna sending Sukadev Goswami. As soon as a true representative of the Lord is met by a devotee of the Lord, the devotee is assured a guarantee for going back to Godhead just after leaving the present body. As soon as, if Krishna send a representative, as soon as one accept the pure representative Lord Krishna, we are guaranteed, assured a guarantee for going back to Godhead just after leaving the present body. This, however, depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. And on what basis Krishna will send us his mercy in the form of spiritual master, on the basis of our sincerity. If we are sincere in following four regulative principles, in chanting 16 rounds, taking devotee association, serving the Vaishnavas, reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, these are all signs of sincerity, avoiding sinful activities, working on our behavior, trying to attain perfection, trying to remember Krishna, using our free time and proper engagement, devotional service, keeping Krishna in the center. This, however, depends on the sincerity of devotee himself. The Lord is seated in the heart of all living beings, and thus he knows very well the movements of all individual persons. Krishna is sitting in our heart. Krishna sees this person really wants me, he's really striving to come close to me. Then Krishna will send us a bona fide spiritual master. As soon as the Lord finds that a particular soul is very eager to go back to Godhead, the Lord at once sends his bona fide representative. The sincere devotee is thus assured by the Lord of going back to Godhead. And this way, the Lord ensures that a devotee comes to me by sending his representative. And the pure devotee of the Lord is completely under the control of the Lord. One of the name of Krishna is Rishikesh. He completely controls the mind and senses of his pure devotee. And the pure devotee does whatever Krishna wants him to do. He completely acts under the direction of Lord Krishna. Pure devotee has almost no independence because he is completely surrendered to Krishna. His independence is, his free will is surrendered to Krishna. And now he is completely surrendered. So Krishna inspires the devotee to give initiation, to accept us, to be pleased with us, to give us instruction. So sincere devotee is thus assured by the Lord of going back to God. And the conclusion is that to get the assistance and help of a bona fide spiritual master means to receive the direct help of the Lord himself. And Parikshit Maharaj was directly helped by Krishna through the medium of Sukadev Goswami. So that's all we have for today. If there is some discussion, some question, we can take now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, am I audible?
You're audible.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm in the car. So Prabhuji, I just want to ask you two questions. One question is, you categorize three different stages there, three different category of stages. If you can repeat that thing, and also I just want to know, Prabhuji, why? I mean, I understand, I know the background, why Sukadev Goswami was chosen, but Narada Muni is also a pure devotee of the Lord, correct? So when we're saying Sukadev Goswami and Narada Muni also always chant the name of the Lord only, always. So just want to understand differentiation between these two great personalities.
Sorry, Sukadev Goswami position is very high. Sukadev Goswami, Narad Muni is a devotee of Narayan, generally, a pure devotee of the Lord. Sukadev Goswami is a parrot of Srimati Radharani. Example, Radharani is there, gopis are there. Just an example. They both are pure devotees of Lord Krishna. But it is said that the love that Radharani has for Krishna is like a mountain compared to the love the gopis have for Krishna is like a mustard seed compared to a mountain. That's why Prabhupada says, who is Radharani? Radharani is the best devotee of Krishna. And different devotees in Golok Vrindavan also, they're all different devotees, and their love for Krishna is different. So just developing love of Krishna is not the the end. Love of Krishna is the beginning. Rupa Goswami also describes various levels of love of Krishna. But anybody's love for Krishna can be a Santa Bhakta, Dasya Bhakta, Vatsalya Bhakta, uh, Prema Bhakta, but they all are different in their love for Krishna. And how much love they have for Krishna, to that much extent they control Krishna. What to speak about a personal parrot or Srimati Radharani. So the position of Sukadeva Goswami is very high. And everybody could understand that Sukadeva Goswami was like a moon compared to the stars who are like all the sages present there. Vyasadeva spoke Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. When Sukadeva Goswami, like a parrot, the fruit becomes sweeter. When he spoke Bhagavatam, how much Bhagavatam is relishable is also based on the quality of the devotee. That's why it is said to hear Bhagavatam from pure devotees like our spiritual masters. Like our Radha Govind Maharaj, when he speaks Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is so attractive. Why it is so attractive? Because it becomes sweeter when it is touched by the lips of pure devotees. And we cannot understand what it means to be for the Bhagavatam to be touched by the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. When Vyasadeva spoke Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. Then Sukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam to all the sages, including Vyasadeva. When Vyasadeva heard Bhagavatam, which he earlier spoke from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva was shocked. He was impressed. He was enlivened. And then Vyasadeva wrote the Bhagavatam that Sukadeva Goswami spoke and not what he spoke to him. In a way, the content is similar, but it is way more relishable because the Bhakta adds his own devotion when he speaks Bhagavatam. And when it comes from Sukadeva Goswami, there is nothing like that. That's why the beginning of Sukadeva Goswami, in the beginning of Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami says, this has become even more tastier after being touched by the lips of Sukha. Sukha also means parrot. And by the lips of Sukadeva Goswami, by the lips of Sukha, therefore, Pibata Rasam Bhagavatam Rasalyam. This is pure nectar. Just drink this Bhagavatam because having it has become tastier. And the three kind of sages, some are Brahmanvadi, some are Paramatma, realized yogis, and some are Bhagwan and different aspects of Bhagwan. So there are all these different kinds of sages. But what to speak about a pure devotee of caliber of Sukadeva Goswami, of Krishna. So that was like a moon amongst the stars. Is that all right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. And one more question, Prabhuji, if I may ask. So that means like when Sukadeva Goswami was born at the age of, I think, quite a bit longer age in the pregnancy, correct, in the womb of her mother, of his mother, correct. But my question is, when he born, Vyasadeva was not realized that he is a Radharani personal associate. Vyasadeva was not under the impression. When he realized that Bhagavatam from his mouth, then he realized about it, about the glorification.
He knew Krishna gave Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami, a pure devotee, also has fear of Maya. Sukadeva Goswami says, although he's a parrot of Radharani, he's so absorbed in Krishna, in remembering Radha and Krishna, that he never want to lose that at any cost, that attachment, that remembrance he has for Krishna, even within the womb. So he said, I'm not going to come to this material world. So Sukadeva Goswami says, my dear son, it is causing a lot of inconvenience to your mother. Then Krishna came and told him. He said, only if Krishna comes, because he's a devotee of Krishna anyways. Only if he has faith in Krishna, actually, it is a pastime that he came and he acted as Brahman realized. It is just a pastime. So he said, okay, if Krishna comes, then, and Krishna says, Maya will not touch me, then I come out. So Vyasadeva knew that he is self-realized soul. But Bhagavatam had to come. So Krishna arranged the pastime in Sukadeva Goswami in such a way that he heard Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam has to be heard in a bona fide Guru Parampara. So just like the Lord taking initiation, Mahaprabhu took initiation, Krishna took initiation, they are actually part and parcel of him. So Sukadeva Goswami heard Bhagavatam and then he spoke Bhagavatam. So he was never a conditioned soul, never. And interestingly, Sukadeva Goswami is now 16 years and he came out from the womb at 16 years only. So he doesn't have to do anything. His complete attachment to Krishna arose. He heard Shrimad Bhagavatam few days and then he started walking and then he came here. 16 only. So it's not that many years of sadhana. He is always self-realized.
My only question was, Prabhuji, so Vyasadeva, as he's a Trikal Darshi, correct? He could
Yeah.
understand the future also. So then when he was also upset about his writings, and then he could not even think of his future, like I should have write, because I mean that's the arrangement of the Lord. I understand, like that's why Narad Muni came and instruct him that you did not glorify the Lord, you need to glorify the Lord, write about Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. But he is still himself, because he might be put into a delusion that Narad Muni, that's kind of arrangement of the Lord. I should think in that way, Prabhuji. Because he is
Yes.
recalled that he can also think like what I'm missing in my writing.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Bhagavatam says, Vyasadeva felt in his heart, probably I'm not satisfied because I have not sufficiently glorified Krishna. When he had a thought like that, Narad Muni appeared.
So that means he did not get even opportunity to think about it. Why is not happy? Immediately Narad Muni appeared, and then he instructed Vyasadeva that
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam.
Then he wrote and he was self-satisfied.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Prabhupada. Just maybe basic but silly question. The parrot pair, who was I for with means about whom I have heard in the past times, like Shuka and Saris.
Mhm. So your question is that Sukadeva Goswami? Harshini Mataji. I think she disconnected. Yeah, anyways, I will answer. There is Sukha and Sari. Sukha refers to parrot. Sukha refers to any parrot. The word Sukha in Sanskrit means parrot. And this special parrot, who is Srimati Radharani's personal parrot, that is Sukadeva. Sukadeva Goswami. So he's a special parrot. Okay, anything else anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Had a quick sorry, Prabhuji. I had a quick question, Prabhuji. In the end of in your class, thank you for the wonderful class. You were talking about how the Lord sends the spiritual master when He sees our sincerity, and then I just wanted a clarification. Did you say Krishna inspires the pure devotee to be pleased with us?
Yes.
I heard that. Oh,
Yes.
okay, so that's okay. So the Lord is inspiring our spiritual master to be pleased with us.
Yes. Based on our sincerity, because the Lord is sitting in our heart and Lord is sitting in their heart. So the Lord reveals everything to them. The Lord makes them become pleased with us. The Lords make them not to become pleased with us. Everything is Krishna in their heart. A pure devotee is completely surrendered to Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I was just having a little bit doubt over there. Did I hear it correctly or not? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Danvat Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Danvat
Grateful
Pranam.
for this question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my inquiry is we got inspiration that when a suffering comes in devotee's life, a devotee feels blessed. We heard that when the message came that dying in 7 days and he was in very anxiety. Maharaj Parikshit was in great anxiety. As soon as he read the message, he was jubilant. He was feeling blessed. So I was considering Prabhuji like, is that stage attainable, Prabhuji? Like I'm just thinking what it takes to I don't know how to ask. But my
I
inquiry is
understand.
as a sadhaka, will that stage ever come, Prabhuji? Like how what is the incentive for that stage to come? Like just
Well, what teaching we learn from there is surrender to Krishna's plan, Prabhuji. That time, Sukadeva Goswami didn't know how it's going to help. All he knew, the sage did not say, you will be blessed with Shrimad Bhagavatam, you will have a guru, you will become self-realized, you will develop pure devotion, you will go back to Godhead. He just told him, you are cursed for death in 7 days. That's all the news he got. But then that was very harsh in a way. I mean, anybody of us diagnosed with last stage of cancer, certainly we will see. Right now, we are not in that position. We'll see that day will come for us today or tomorrow. Something will come, and we know it's time to go. We will see how the mind becomes so disturbed at that point of time. But he saw that, then he accepted it. He surrendered, and then later he was very grateful to see the play. He was grateful then also. He thought I deserved it. And he was even more grateful later on when he saw the Lord's plan. Now he has a guru, which he didn't had since his childhood. Now he has the association of sages. Now all his family attachments are gone. And then when he looked back, he saw what a wonderful plan of the Lord. So, but that time he could not see the Lord's plan, but he still surrendered. He didn't counteract. He didn't do anything to counteract. He surrendered. But later on, he was greatly blessed. Does that answer, Prabhuji?
okay,
Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you very much, dear Prabhujis and Matajis. Dandavat Pranam. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as your humble servant. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripna sindhu me eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
Prabhuji, we have
Hare
time, but I have one
Hare
question.
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Mataji. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Yep.
Pranam.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Jai Shri
Dandavat
Prabhupada.
Pranam. Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can ask your question.
I heard that Prabhuji, like from the beginning, that like if we are sincere, we will get the reaction soon for the mistakes by Krishna's mercy.
Yes.
Like, can you please elaborate a little bit, Prabhuji?
Yeah. One time, my spiritual master, His Holiness Rajana Swami Maharaj was mentioning sometimes devotees are offending. Whoever they see, they are offending. And we don't see much reaction coming to them. But then Maharaj says Krishna is so unhappy with them that Krishna is not giving them reaction. And because the reaction for such severe offenses to devotees will be very, very long. And they may continue for many lifetimes also. So Krishna postponed the reaction. But at that point of time, it seems like everything is well and nice in their life. But we see that some other devotees, they may do a small mistake and they may go through severe suffering. So Maharaj said, that is the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit, that reaction came instantaneously. But if the reaction is not coming for what we are doing, so means Krishna is so unhappy with us that Krishna is like, continue, continue, continue. And Krishna brings everything back together at some point of time in future. So real mercy is if we get the reaction for our wrongdoings now, so we don't have to suffer later. That means no next life. Because Krishna is not waiting. Reaction now. So remain a clean slate. mistake, get the reaction, remain a clean slate. Then only we can go back, possibly. Doesn't ask matter.
Yes, Prabhuji. That is depending on like how faithful we are, like based on that, like
Sincerely,
sincere.
very, very sincere in not doing anything wrong and some accidental mistake, Krishna will give reaction. And that reaction is the mercy of the Lord, because that will give us the realization what not to do. And that's what Maharaj Parikshit was playing. My Lord, let the reaction come, let the severe reaction come. So my kingdom can be burnt, my strength can be lost, my wealth can be lost. I may be deprived of everything. Let a very severe reaction come. So I get a realization of not to offend the Brahmanas again in my life. He was lamenting so much. And the reaction was even more severe, death. But he felt blessed. All right.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one more thing, Prabhuji. You mentioned like Kadamma Kanan Maharaj that like he prepared for that, like you said few points, Prabhuji, like for not eating for a couple months and taking only water and little bit. Can you please elaborate a little bit further?
When constantly remembering the Lord in the same bed, unable to walk, not speaking much, became emaciated, weak, preparing for death and remembering the Lord. Very, very difficult to attain that stage. But he prepared. Prabhupada also prepared. Prabhupada said, they want to give Prabhupada injunction. Prabhupada said, no injunction. I'm just waiting. Until that time, he continued to recite Shrimad Bhagavatam. Preparation for death. Very, very difficult. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you much. All right. We'll end here. Then we pronounce Hare Krishna. Thank you.